In the UK, a promissory note is an unconditional written promise to pay a fixed sum, governed primarily by Part 4 of the Bills of Exchange Act 1882. It must be signed by the maker, payable on demand or at a fixed future time, and delivered to the payee or bearer. It acts as a negotiable instrument, often used for debt financing. Let me say that again, often used for debt financing. Key aspects of UK promissory note legislation. Definition and validity. Under Section 83 of the 1882 Act, it is an unconditional promise in writing, signed by the maker, promising to pay a sum certain in money to a specified person or bearer. Delivery. The note is incomplete and invalid until it is delivered to the payee or bearer. Joint liability. If multiple people sign, "I promise to pay," they are jointly and severally liable. Demand notes. If payable on demand, it must be presented within a reasonable time. Inland versus foreign. Notes made and payable within the British Islands are deemed inland notes. Stamp duty. While previously significant, modern promissory notes are generally not subject to duty, but must still comply with Statutory Form 1891 Act. Electronic presentation. Recent amendments allow for electronic presentment, subject to specific rules and regulations. Part 4, Sections 83 to 89, of the Bills of Exchange Act 1882 codifies the law regarding promissory notes, defining them as unconditional, signed, written promises to pay a specific sum to a person or bearer. Key provisions establish requirements for delivery, the necessity of presentment for payment to hold the maker or endorser liable, and rules for notes payable on demand. Key aspects of Part 4, Promissory Notes. Definition, Section 83, a promissory note is an unconditional promise in writing made by one person to another, signed by the maker, engaging to pay on demand or at a fixed future time a sum certain in money to a specified person or bearer. Inland versus foreign notes, Section 83, a note made and payable within the British Islands, is an inland note, otherwise, it is a foreign note. Delivery, Section 84, a promissory note is inchoate and incomplete until delivery to the payee or bearer. In brackets send via recorded delivery, which requires a signature upon acceptance. This gives you proof the document has been accepted closed brackets. Presentment for payment, Section 87. If a note is explicitly payable at a particular place, it must be presented there to make the maker liable. Presentment is necessary to hold the endorser liable. If a note is payable on demand and has been endorsed, it must be presented within a reasonable time of endorsement to avoid discharging the endorser. Application of rules, Section 89, the maker of a promissory note corresponds with the acceptor of a bill of exchange, therefore, most rules in Part 2, Bills of Exchange, apply, including those for liability, negotiation, and dishonor. Part 4 essentially applies the principles governing bills of exchange to promissory notes, with necessary adjustments for the difference in structure, a maker instead of a drawee. Part 2 Negotiation of Bills Section 32. 32 Requisites of a valid endorsement. An endorsement in order to operate as a negotiation must comply with the following conditions, namely: 1. It must be written on the bill itself and be signed by the endorser. The simple signature of the endorser on the bill, without additional words, is sufficient. An endorsement written on an allenge, or on a copy, of a bill issued or negotiated in a country where copies are recognized, is deemed to be written on the bill itself. 2. It must be an endorsement of the entire bill. A partial endorsement, that is to say, an endorsement which purports to transfer to the endorsee a part only of the amount payable, or which purports to transfer the bill to two or more endorsees severally, does not operate as a negotiation of the bill. 3. Where a bill is payable to the order of two or more payees or endorsees who are not partners, all must endorse, unless the one endorsing has authority to endorse for the others. 4. Where, in a bill payable to order, the payee or endorsee is wrongly designated, or his name is misspelt, He may endorse the bill as therein described, adding, if he thinks fit, his proper signature. 5. Where there are 2 or more endorsements on a bill, each endorsement is deemed to have been made in the order in which it appears on the bill, until the contrary is proved. 6. An endorsement may be made in blank or special. It may also contain terms making it restrictive, in brackets such as without recourse closed brackets.